Welcome to Under the Wings Helmet. I'm Kyle Simmons, and I'm joined by former Michigan and NFL offensive lineman Thomas Guynes and the host of the ASAP Elite podcast, Rob Penn. This week's episode is sponsored by Jabs Gym. Learn the fundamentals of boxing through high-intensity cardio and strength workouts with locations in Metro Detroit, the Eastern Market, Ferndale, and Birmingham. So, I'm going to start this episode off the same way I started off our first episode 1 year ago, if you guys remember. The two-time defending Big Ten champion Michigan Wolverines. How's that sound?
Man, that sounds immaculate. That sounds proper. That sounds like the way things are supposed to be. Sounds like the way things always should be.
Yes, sir.
Definitely looking forward to this season. We're starting off with some question marks and some unknowns based off of some of the coaching shenanigans, NCAA, internal policies, if you will, that has been levied by the university. So I'm sure we're going to be delving into that. But all that to be said, I'm really looking forward to how the boys and the coaching staff respond to some of these, and I won't even really call them problems. I will basically say these are some early season hurdles, possible distractions, if you will. But overall, based off of what I've seen at some practices, spring games, things of that nature, I definitely feel like we got the horses to repeat or three-peat.
Three-peat. I like the sound of that, three-peat. So the Wolverines were coming off a 13-1 record in 2022. And as I said before, second consecutive Big Ten title, second straight appearance in a college football playoff. So the excitement, the expectations here in Ann Arbor are, and throughout Wolverine Nation, are kind of through the roof right now. So, Rob, your overall excitement level, how do you feel about this going into week one?
I feel like I'm getting ready to watch Mercury Hayes, maybe some Elvis Grbac back in those days, when I was growing up, a kid, we were dominant. Amani Toomer, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. Like I say, it just makes me feel like I was when I was a kid and we were dominant and running through everybody and, just something to look forward to, the pride, the camaraderie, and being able to wear this Black M anywhere in the country, and people respect it. It's something different. It's something different. And I can't wait. And I was just telling my lady, man, we got to put up 60, We got to put up 60. That's just how it is. I'm pumped, brother. That's about it. That's all I can say.
All right. So, yeah.
Goosebumps right now.
This Saturday, the number 2 ranked Michigan Wolverines host East Carolina for a noon kickoff at the Big House. The Pirates are coming off their best season since joining the AAC this year. So they're feeling really good, but they did lose their starting quarterback, who actually finished his career as a number 11 passer in FBS. So I know that they're losing a big piece right there with him. But Thomas, going into this opener, what are the main things you're going to keep your eye on?
The biggest thing I'm looking for right now is our ability to press the gas and stay on the gas. I think this is one of those games where, like Rob said, we got to put up 60. This is technically a lose-lose game for us. If we win the game, but we don't win the game in a commanding fashion and get the style points, it's a loss. Obviously, if we take an L, it's a major loss, right? And so I caution people about this East Carolina team. A lot of teams like ECU are basically filled with a lot of guys that probably could have played at major D1 programs, but either behavioral issues or grade issues is what caused them to land where they landed. Now, to your point, Cobb, they're coming off a really good season. They're probably still on the high, even though they lost their quarterback. There's probably something within their system based off of the stat that you just gave, system-wise, if they're able to replicate the talent aspect, but I believe the system is going to still be in place for them to try to air the ball out. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for overall us to press the gas from quarter one to quarter four. Secondly, our ability to get to the pass rusher. And thirdly, I think most importantly, what a lot of people are looking forward to seeing is, what is our rushing attack going to be like? Are we going to be able to duplicate that two-headed monster that we had last year? What's the condition of Blake's knee? And also, again, as a former offensive lineman, how dominant can we be up front? Again, I don't think these guys are going to try to play mano-a-mano with us up front. I think they're going to try to more or out-athletic us, if you will. Speed rusher, stunts, things of that nature, try to confuse us and kind of take away our advantage of just of being bigger individuals, right? So our ability to come into the game with the proper mindset, kill everybody and burn everything in our wake, that needs to be the mindset coming into this game. Because I'm telling you here and now, if we let this game stay anywhere competitive, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue we're going to hear about all week, and it's going to be an issue possibly in the psyche down at the building, what we call the building, Schembechler Hall, as far as, hey, we're the number 2 team in the country, and we've done all of this work, and people have been singing our praises. We've won the Joe Moore Award and all of these different accolades right now, and this is what we come out and produce. This is what we give the people. That's a problem. So if we're able to do the things that I just spoke upon, press the gas from quarter one to quarter four, be dominant up front on both sides of the ball, and also be able to rush the ball effectively and get those first downs when we need to, we can't settle for field goals. We got to get 6. If we do those things, I definitely feel like we're going to be on the right track.
Hey, I'll tell you this. CJ2K is not walking through that door. And if CJ2K was on that field for Eastern Carolina, they still wouldn't score more than 6 points. We about to come out here. We going to set the tone. We going to eat their lunch. We ain't even got to tenderize the ribs. We're going to have it our third, our fourth. You know, we're going to have our predicted red shirts come in and get a couple snaps. You know what I'm saying? Feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait, bro. East Carolina is always a good program. Always. The Pirates are always kicking out a good team. Like you said, they're a bunch of bounce backs. You know, a lot of JUCO cats that, you know, probably went to a high-ranking program, fell back, and now that's their second chance, last chance you type scenario. But still on and all, they're a good ball club. Don't know much about them the last couple of years. They're new. I think that we're going to come out and just dominate and set the tone. And it's not going to be close at all. Hey, Thomas. Let me ask you a question. Run to pass ratio this game.
I think we at least need to be 75% run. And again, that's just, the run game offensively, and especially for us up front, it's about mentality and setting the tone and understanding what our identity is. Yeah, we got a great quarterback, and, you know, we got a lot of weapons outside as far as the receivers and stuff go. But our ability to set the tone to say that we are definitely here to play bully ball, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that plays better into our favor. It's more advantageous for us, because if you're coming in expecting to play bully ball and you start loading that box up and, you know, we're doing our thing, then we hit you over the top, kind of like taking candy from a baby. So I'm hoping that we have at least 225 to 250 yards rushing.
That's 75, 25. That's a pretty good prediction, and that's a win. That's a dominant football game.
Yeah, it's a dominant performance. And the other caveat to that too is we're not showing too much. I can't go into this game thinking that, you know, we're going to be delving deep into the playbook. So I'm looking for us to keep this relatively vanilla, hoping or going with the expectations of, you know, we're just going to outman you based off of our talent pool. And because of our talent pool, we should be able to keep it relatively vanilla, showing on both sides of the ball, right? Until we start getting into the thick of the 10. But at this particular point in time, based off of our conference schedule. It should just be relatively vanilla. We still should be dominant, but at the same point in time, no need to delve too deep into the playbook and give any cats any sort of scouting material as we continue to move forward into the conference.
Our quarterback coach will be calling plays, so.
As he should be. I mean, I'm completely good with that. I'm excited to see how the coaching staff responds based off the shenanigans that had just come down the pipe, and watch those guys step up and really take that captain of the ship leadership role, if you will, and, see what their skill set is as far as calling plays. And also how do the boys respond, right? When you take away the captain of the ship, and now your executive officer now has to come up and take that particular role. How does that ship respond to their type of leadership moving forward? So that's going to be a real interesting piece to watch as Saturday moves forward. And as he's, however many games Coach Harbaugh was suspended, but I'm really interested to see how that plays out.
And a live opportunity for other jobs. A lot of these assistant coaches are going to be getting looked soon.
There's no doubt. So, I mean, you can at least say on your resume, yes, I have called a game.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, we're going to be 36-point favorites in this game. So I know we're talking about yardages and things like that, but we got to do a prediction here. So, Rob, give us a final score.
All right, so we're going to cover. We always, I think we're going to tone it down a little bit. 51-14. No, 51-6. Hey, I need to give a shout out and throw a little bit of praise and adulation to my boy Roman Wilson for garnering the #1 jersey. He will wear that jersey proud and will be the best receiver to wear that jersey since Braylon.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, wearing that #1, especially at the University of Michigan, is huge based off of the pantheon of individuals that have honored that number and that jersey. So definitely looking to see what Roman brings to the table. But again, we have nothing but high hopes and high expectations that he will continue to carry on the legacy of the #1 at the University of Michigan. So that's huge. And again, big shout outs to him.
Hey, Thomas.
Yes, go ahead.
As you being deeply entrenched into the program, bro, they were handing out that #1 willy-nilly, bro.
At one point in time, I think there were some cultural shifts. There were some cultural shifts that had took place after, I left. And I don't know if that was, coaches trying to foster a deeper sort of relationship and maybe kind of become the kinder, gentler coaching staff. I can tell you this: when I was there was a video that's been going around. I believe they might have been in Georgia, Florida, or whatever's high school game, where the coach had punched a young man in the stomach.
Boom! I saw that. Oh, they tapped him.
Right. So, and again, high school, college, professional, levels to the game, if you will. But I bring that up to say that, during our tenure, there was nothing for us to, get jabbed in the midsection when a coach came around. And sometimes it would happen while you were getting butt chewed. And sometimes it would happen just as an attention getter, like, hey, stay tight. I'm here. But at that same point in time, and in saying this, I'm not saying that coach in that high school situation was right or wrong. That's not what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about during our tenure, there was a level of physicality that was part of our culture. And that was from the coaching staff down. And that's how we played. And to your point, I think we started trying to become kinder, gentler. And during those years where we started to become kinder, gentler, you kind of saw the decline of the program. You saw that Block M didn't have the luster that it once had. You saw that people weren't necessarily intimidated coming into the big house, playing in front of 100,000+ people. You saw that most beautiful helmet in college football really didn't shine like it used to. Now that we're starting to turn it back up and get used to punching people in the face again, you're starting to see the results. And so, again, I'm looking for us to get past the point of being Big Ten good, and we're going to be national good. So point-wise, I'm going to give ECU, I'm going to give them 14. Now, whatever it is after that, covering the spread and higher, whatever that total is, because I suck at math, we should do that, right? Again, the only reason why I'm giving ECU the 14 is because of the fact that they bring in high-caliber athletes. Yeah. And so those guys are going to be hungry. There's going to be some plays out there where their athleticism does show up, and, they're going to get one or two. But again, one or two, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm going to split the difference between you guys. I'm going to go 56-10. I think they'll eke one in there somewhere. I think somewhere later in the game, maybe when the reserves start to come in, they'll probably get one in there somehow. So, but yeah, 56-10 is my prediction. So, got anything else you want to add, Rob, before we get out?
Yeah, I think we're gonna hold them 2 field goals, bro.
2 field goals?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I like to see 56-0. That'll really.
Yeah, I know really we got to be realistic.
There's nothing better than a goose egg, but like Coach always said, those kids are on scholarship too. So, again, cannot get caught up. Big Michigan, little ECU, if you will. Got to remember, bro. At the end of the day, what better feather to put in their hat this year than to come in against a number 2 team at their house and knock them off? So again, like I said, I appreciate the confidence that's being shown right now, and even a little bit of the bravado. I'm still cautious because of the fact that I remember App State. I remember playing in games like this. It's a lose-lose for us, right? Again, we got to get the style points. We're going to have to press the gas from kickoff to quadruple zeros. And like I said, if we take an L, it could be disastrous. So,
hey, that's the general sentiment, especially doing with football. But I'm just going to keep it a buck. A little bit into the fourth quarter, this is going to be me. Go blue, baby.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Under the Wings Helmet. Thank you to our sponsors, Javs Gym and Juke Football. You can buy their all-inspired sports apparel at jukefootball.com. Also, be sure to check out the Under the Wings Helmet merchandise at asapelite.com. Come back next week where we're going to preview Week 2 versus UNLV. And be sure to listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and the Believe Podcast Network. You can also watch us on asapelite.com and YouTube. Guynes and Rob Penn. I'm Kyle Simmons. Go Blue.
Hell yeah.
Baby.